I wanted to talk a bit about what it's like to have a seizure because I'm like 80% sure I've had at least two, and I think I'm like about 30 37% sure that I've experienced more than two. Like I know two distinct times when like I noticeably had one, but I have done a bit of research, and some of the symptoms of seizures aren't as clear as others. And anyway, well, they're not as like distinct and noticeable and disruptive as others. Anyway, um, yeah. So I've had at least two, and I want to talk about those and stuff. So I've talked about it before, but I don't think I went into detail very much. Maybe I did, but you know, I had one. I think I'm pretty sure, like just the other day. So I wanna discuss that. I don't have epilepsy, but I do a lot of drugs, and I am on some medication, a lot of medication, kind of. So when you mix all that together, it can be dangerous. So yeah, a seizure. It feels like, well, I think I had grand mal seizures, which is where your muscles stiffen up. Um, and the thing is that both times it was when I was on DXM. I was on a bunch of other things, but also DXM, and I think that DXM is like kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, you know. I don't know if I would have had a seizure otherwise. I suspect not, but I can't prove that or anything. Um, anyway, I just know that like that's a way I can talk about it, because you see, when you're on DXM, it makes your legs kind of stiff and you walk funny. And I think I I don't want to say something that ain't true, but sometimes I wonder if like we just misunderstand the ways that DXM works recreationally. Like maybe that symptom is, or that effect is like a mini seizure, but I don't want to make any claims here. I don't know. There's probably other explanations for it, or a different way of categorizing it, but anyway, the relevance of that is that both times it happened while I was really uncoordinated, especially in regards to my legs, and um, because of the DXM especially, but also like um, other drugs such as like weed, alcohol, DPH, um, Vyvanse, um, antipsychotics, uh, antidepressants. Um, yeah, yeah. So when you put all those things together, and I don't know if I like, not both times did I have all of those things at once, but both times I had most of those things at once. Um, so when you combine those, like it's a lot. It's a lot. Let me tell you. And anyway, so you know, both times it was when I was standing on my bed, um, and you see, when you're standing on your bed, you know, it's like a wobbly. Well, it makes you wobbly. It's a springy sort of surface, and you gotta like hold your balance. So it requires a lot of like strength and um, control of your leg muscles, and that's hard when when you're in that state. So it results in seizures for me a couple of times. Like, yeah, I think that it just was because seizures are when there's too much electricity in the brain. It's like a sudden jolt of electricity in the brain, an outburst or something. And I think that makes sense because, like, I think that the way that the brain works, I'm pretty sure, is like it sends electricity signals to different parts of the body to tell them to move, or maybe like the signals like trigger electricity that makes them move. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Something like that. And so that's why there's that brain and leg connection there. you know, uh, I'm not a scientist at all, but I've done a bit of research and I've got some instincts about this. So yeah. But like, if anyone were to, say anything that um, contradicts what I say, like, you know, if it were um, had a good source, if it had a good source and was like provable, I would absolutely listen to that. I'm not gonna like be stubborn about any kind of theorizing I have. I'm just theorizing because I can't help it. When you experience things, you can't help but think about it and wonder about it. Especially me, because I think about a lot of stuff. But yeah. Now seizures. Oh, and I'll talk about more about how it felt. So, the first time it happened, um, I it was much more scary. I remember feeling scared leading up to it. I was anxious, and then, um, when it did happen, uh, I I kind of like my vision went kind of black and fuzzy, but I don't think I lost consciousness. Like I I could still think and feel, and I felt it a lot. I could think and feel a lot, and I was scared. You know, I didn't think I was gonna die, but I thought, shit, this might cause me some problems along the way. This might really damage my brain. And maybe I could die. I thought maybe I could die, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to die. This is it. But I thought, death might be coming. And the thing is, seizures usually don't cause lasting damage to the brain, but long ones for like a long period of time, like intense bad ones over time, that can cause lasting damage. But um, if you just have like a couple, you know, then you'll be okay. It's kind of like when you find out how much like rat feces they're allowed to include in like the food according to the FDA or whatever, something like that. It's like, I don't want there to be any of it, but I guess I guess we have to regulate it, so there's got to be a minimum, you know. That's crazy, man. It's got to be a minimum, and it's not zero. And that's funny. But yeah. Uh, After the seizures, both times. Okay, so the first time it was emotional. I think I was crying and stuff. That day I was very emotional. That was the one that led to me having psychosis and stuff. But the incident, the videos were they're titled "The Incident." That's that's about the time when I had a seizure and I had psychosis because of drugs, and probably mental illness as well. So, yeah. Um, but, so the second time, which was just the other day, I think it was just 2 days ago, yeah, um, I was not as scared. In fact, I felt it coming on. Like, I thought, yeah, this could happen, this could happen. I remember how it felt before. You know, you feel, what I felt was like kind of a buzzing feeling in my head, which is interesting because the seizure, like I said, it really is about a build-up or a burst of electricity in the brain, so... But you don't have tactile senses in your brain. Like, you can't feel your brain. You know, your brain can't feel. So I don't know. I don't know, but whenever I get high on, like, pretty much anything, I feel sensations in, like, my eyebrow ridge area, like, not the bones, but, like, I guess the muscles and skin and flesh that is on that area, and I feel it in my forehead and kind of in my eyes, so, like, just this upper part right here, so that makes me speculate that it might have something to do with that portion of the brain, um, but I don't know how true that could be because, like I said, you don't have feeling nerves in your brain. So, yeah. But anyway, the second time that I had that seizure, you know, I did have that sensation in my head, so I knew it was going to happen. I felt the buzzing, and I felt very uncoordinated, but I wasn't emotionally, like, scared or anything. I was chilling. I was very happy, in fact. You know, that day it was a good day for me, honestly. I'm telling you. Like, that sounds absolutely insane, and it is. It is. I'm not gonna, like, sit here and, like, I'm not gonna piss on your leg and tell you it's raining, you know? I love that expression. Um, I'm not gonna be like, no, man, everything's fine. Like, I am okay. At this time. Like, this isn't a horrible, dangerous. Well, it's it is a bit dangerous, but it isn't like a. I don't feel scared at this point in my life right now. Like, I feel pretty safe. I just feel like, you know, you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. That's nah. You you should avoid seizures. Don't be like me. You should avoid seizures. But yeah, it just wasn't that scary the second time, and it didn't last that long, and I didn't have that blackout. I don't think I had that blackout thing with my eyes. Like, I, it's just with my eyes. Like, I neither time did I lose consciousness, I'm pretty sure, but I guess you wouldn't know, really, would you? You wouldn't remember. If I did lose consciousness either times, I regained it immediately afterwards, because there was no, like, large amount of time that had passed at all, so there's that. But anyway, the second time, yeah, after it happened, I just got right back up and continued about my day. You know, I told my sister what happened, and she was, you know, she was like, "Oh God, that sucks" or whatever. You know, she was, you know, she didn't, she wasn't like good. I'm glad you had a seizure. And she wasn't dismissive of it or anything like that, but at the same time, she wasn't, like, freaking the fuck out, because she could tell that I was still myself, and I was still, like, I was comfortable, so, you know, that's generally a good sign. Um, but, yeah, still, it's like, a seizure is a fucking seizure, like, you know, nothing, uh, no more, no less, you know? Um, but, I'm just saying, like, if you ever experience that, um, especially as a result of drugs, because that's what I'm coming from, that's what I'm speaking from, that's the place that I'm speaking from. If that happens to you, just know that, like, you're not gonna die. You might. I mean, I can't tell you, like, no, you're not gonna die, because, like, you if you're having a seizure because of drugs, that could correlate with other really dangerous things that could kill you. But I don't think the seizure itself is likely to kill you. It maybe could. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but just don't tell yourself that, like, this is it, this is the end. If you can like rely on cues from your body. If you can think clearly enough, you know who you are, you know where you are, and you can stay calm. I was genuinely pretty calm when I had my second seizure. Um, you know, I was I knew it was gonna happen. It did. And it's kind of like falling down a flight of stairs. It's almost like, oh god. Oh man, like, you kind of feel it about to happen, and then it does, and it's like, oh shit, and you just kind of gotta. I fell downstairs a lot as a kid. I was a little bit clumsy, so that's what I'm speaking from. Um, yeah, nobody wants to do that, but it's not the end of the world usually, but it can kill you. It can kill you. It's actually a really good analogy. Like, yes, you can technically die from this. Yes, it can give you brain damage sometimes. No, it's not super likely to, and emotionally it feels similar. So yeah. Um. So just keep yourself safe, and don't take anything that I say too seriously. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Keep yourself safe. I do feel a slight, and this is crazy, this is a crazy thing. Don't think that this is okay or good or whatever, or that you should feel this way too. But I feel like slightly happy that I've experienced this, just because I'm a very curious person, and as a child, I was always interested in things that are psychological and things that are scientific, and so, like, I was fascinated by seizures. I really wondered what they were like, you know, and I was interested in people who had epilepsy and stuff. I didn't know anyone who was epileptic to my knowledge, but um, still, I thought about it a lot, actually. I was weird. So, that's why uh, I'm a psychopath who is now fine with the fact that I've had seizures. I think I'm gonna put on a bit of mascara. Fuck it, we're gonna do that on camera, you know? This is a seizure chat and makeup video at the same time, because uh wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. We're gonna do the blue mascara. Black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, and blue mascara. I don't even know who P. Diddy is, but that's from TikTok. Um, alright, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. Kesha had a tail. Kesha, I shit you not, she was born with a tail. She, yeah, she was born with a tail, because sometimes humans are born with tails, and that upsets creationists sometimes, but I think that you can believe in God and believe that God created humans while still believing in evolution. You can just believe that um, God created evolution. There you go. So anyway, but nevertheless, like, yeah, Kesha was born with a tail. She was, and they took her tail. the doctors did a surgery on her, and they chopped it off, man. And Kesha's sad about that. Like, she said before that she wanted that tail, you know? That was a part of her body, and that was something that she liked. And they took it as a baby, you know, when she was born. And yeah, so I just thought you guys should know that. Oh, ah, shit. Get out of here. Get. Don't come back. You're not welcome here. This town ain't big enough for the two of us. Something, something, whatever. I'm okay with the fact that I do things sloppy and the fact that I do makeup sloppy and stuff like that. Like, you know, that's okay. And I will fix this eye a little bit. I'll put some eyeshadow back on it and fix that up, but it's a little bit more here. Oh. Mm. Wow. Yeah, I'm not great at this. I feel bad for Kesha, you know? I don't like that they took her tail. She's bisexual, by the way, and she has like a lot of, she's done things for like um the LGBTQ plus community, and that's really cool. Um yeah. So that's cool. And I fucking love Kesha, honestly, like kind of ironically but kind of unironically. I like Kesha as a person unironically, but I like Kesha as a character a bit more ironically, but still not completely so. You know, she's not exactly like the the character that she portrays. Isn't it fun how this just started out as like a serious chat about seizures and then I just got right into talking about Kesha and doing my makeup? That's just the sort of thing that you get here. This is the quality content that you get. That isn't exactly how I wanted my makeup to be shaped. I wanted it to be a bit more like... didn't want it to be like going upwards. I wanted it to be going kind of in the middle, like outwards. I might listen to Rap God by Eminem after this, because that's what I'm feeling in the mood for. Music is cool. Sometimes I don't listen to music for like a long stretch of time and then I get back into it. Um, because, I don't know, like, there are times where I'm just deeply not in the mood for it, and then there are times where I deeply am. And that's just kind of how it is. You know, you'd think that I'm listening to it all the time, but it's not that simple. It's not that simple. I actually don't like how much I put on. That's too much. I like that Dev Limes or Dev Lemons, same person, made that that cover of TikTok by Kesha without like hearing it. That's a thing that she does. She's like, she'll she'll do covers of songs where she tries to make the beat on her computer without like hearing it. Like she'll turn off the sound on her computer, but like you can still hear it a little bit, hear parts of it in the video, and it's funny. Like you know what's happening, but she doesn't. It's kind of like when you're reading a book, and there's I think is it called situational irony? It's the type of irony where like you know what's happening, but the character doesn't. I was taught about that in English class in my last year of high school, so that's a thing that I know. Um, yeah, there's verbal irony, now I gotta look it up. I'm looking it up, fuck it. Situational, verbal, and dramatic. Oh, yeah. So what I was talking about was dramatic irony. I remember now. Yeah, dramatic irony is the one where um, someone is in a situation where, like, they don't know what's happening, but you do. And that's considered irony. So, yeah, that's basically what Dev Lemon / Dev Limes is doing when she does those types of videos. Like, yeah. And I want to, I think I want to stop the video now because everything's complete. But I'll see you around, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day.